Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. And in this video, I'm just going to continue to keep it real like I always do on my channel. Excuse any noise that you might hear on the background. I do have my 2-year-old twins. They're not right up under me, but they're playing nearby. Okay. All right. So, in this video, I want to talk about this New Age movement here, and particularly just one point of it that I just want to debunk here in my complete logic. There's like a growing number, and we've seen this for some time, of these prophetic or spiritual advisors, and they're telling you, you are perfect just the way you are. If you're not good enough for somebody, it's their problem, not yours. There's something wrong with them, etc. and etc. Now, what I can say in my emotional maturity is there are just some people that will never acknowledge or value you, or truly value you, basically. And those are toxic people. Okay, no matter how you uplift and improve yourself, they just will never see your value. Okay, but on the flip scale of things, there aren't any perfect human beings. There aren't any perfect human beings. None of us are without flaws. None of us are quote unquote perfect the way that we are. There's always things for us to be learning, growing, and developing within ourselves. I think it can be very dangerous to tell someone, no, you're perfect just the way you are. And, I think you can have balance just the way that you are if you're healthy. You can have peace just the way you are if you're, healthy. But to insinuate that you're perfect just the way you are, to always make it someone else's fault if they're not approving of you or accepting of you and seeing you in the image that you want them to see us in. I mean, boy, let the narcissist or someone that's narcissistic severely, because we all have some narcissistic tendencies, and scientists have shown that a mild amount, a certain amount, is healthy for the human being, ego and self-confidence. But of course, there's a spectrum and a scale, and as we go up in there, and just like with most things, a lot of times too much of something becomes then a negative. All right. And then that's when we have a narcissist. Okay. This is a person that's way beyond having some narcissistic traits or on a mild spectrum. All right. But the thing is, I would never want my survivors or the people that watch my channel to become complacent in life and to really lose sight of the big picture of things. I'm not here to coddle people, because a lot of these spiritual advisors and people that are suggesting these things, they're just coddling people and, helping to create atmospheres of, complacement. All right. Because, maybe, there was something wrong with you in that instance. And that's why you couldn't make the proper decision. That's why you tried to attach to a toxic person. That's why you ended up getting a toxic outcome, or getting set back several steps, or, the list can really go on and on. The list, yes, we need to look in the mirror. We need to really learn how to look in the mirror and take accountability for ourselves, guys. Because at the end of the day, that's who we have most control over. We can try to control other people, but typically they have free will. Even if they're our slave, they could choose to commit suicide. They could choose to try to escape. There are levels of free will that the person still has, even if you feel like, I'm dominating over this person, I've captured this person, I own this person. The narcissist, they try to own you, and look what happens. You can get enlightenment, you can break away, you can decide to make a shift and change your mind about being a participant in that setup. But I just want to be mindful the New Age philosophy that, you're perfect just the way you are. And, it's always something external. It's their fault, if they don't accept you. Maybe you were unacceptable in some instances. Maybe you just weren't ready. You weren't mature enough yet to be in this place. You weren't refined enough. You had to go through an evolution before you could take your spot or make your mark and this and that. Yeah. That is what life is really about, growing and developing. And even when we become a master of something, we still don't know everything about it. We may know a whole lot, of course, than someone that knows nothing or someone that's a rookie, but we still don't know everything. We still don't know everything. I mean, scientists have studied how such a small percent of our brain power that we're even using, even the ones that are considered geniuses. They're using more of their brain power, but they're not using 100% of it. So, none of us knows everything, and none of us are perfect. None of us have it all together. And sometimes we are in the wrong. Sometimes, we are in the wrong. And that's okay, because we're not perfect human beings, but we can learn, we can grow, we can evolve, we can become better, we can illuminate, we can transition, we can transform, we can do all of those beautiful things, but sometimes, we are the issue. Sometimes we throw ourselves off a track. Sometimes, we cause a delay. Sometimes we block our blessings. Because people are like, oh, what's for me is for me. Yes, God may have something for you, but there's prerequisites as well. If you don't never free yourself from that, you can't get to this. And that's how it works with God. He wants to give us things, but he doesn't want us to waste it. And look what happens when we jump into situations that we aren't prepared for or ready for just yet. We fall on our faces. We weren't ready to take those training wheels off just yet. All right. We needed more refinement. We needed more knowledge. We needed more experience. We needed more information, etc., etc. So, I just wanted to make this video because taking accountability doesn't mean taking on somebody else's mess. It doesn't mean letting other people off the hook. And like I said, it doesn't mean that there aren't a group of people that just will never value you. But what it does mean is we need to be able to look at the full picture of things and let go of this idea of perfection. Because I'm a vessel myself. I'm a complete vessel. As far as, I'm willing to be used to deliver these messages. Am I perfect in all areas of my life? Of course not. Am I even perfect in this? No, but it's good enough to be used. It's good enough to get the point across. It's good enough to create an audience. It's good enough to affect thousands and thousands and thousands of lives. All right. And that's sufficient. It's sufficient. It's more than sufficient. Am I trying to strive to be perfect? No. That's totally illogical and ignorant. I'm never going to be perfect, but I can be the best version of myself that I can be. I can always try my best to be my best. But I'm growing and learning at the same time. So my best is constantly changing and shifting. And my best is never going to be perfect, but it's going to be adequate and sufficient. It's going to get me where I need to go. It's going to help me get to my destiny. It's going to help me get that well done from my maker. Okay, guys? So just, be careful with all of this new age stuff and who you're taking advice from. Make sure, you're utilizing your logic. And anybody that's telling you that it's always someone else's fault, that you're perfect, you know, be very leery of that. Okay? Be very, very leery of that. All right, so I hope that this is, you know, helping someone who may be feeling confused, you know, maybe you have a lot of spiritual or religious structure growing up, and you don't know what you are anymore, and you're just trying to figure this thing out called life. Okay, what you need to be doing is tapping into yourself even more than, you know, other people. Seek wise counsel, yes, but learn how to get tapped into yourself so that you can hear that discernment. You can hear that voice inside of you. And it's going to connect you to the source. It's going to connect you to the source when you do that. But it requires, you know, getting rid of all of the clutter, all of the static, all of the everybody and their opinions and words and blah, blah, blah. All right, guys. So, you know, welcome to my channel. To all the newbies, definitely feel free to subscribe, hit the bell. I upload videos all the time. All right. I put them in many, many playlists to find different topics. But, you know, to me, a good life lived is a life explored, is a life of effort, it's a life of sharing. You know, it's a life of evolving. It's a life of authenticity. You know, it's a life that's brave. You know, you got to be an individual. You got to step away from putting so much stock into what other people think, what other people care about, per se. Is realizing the game that's being played. The game is playing the game good, and learning how to make it your own. Learn how to make it your own. Staying in touch with yourself and connected to nature is a whole lot of things. Finding balance and maintaining it. It's being off balance sometime and being able to find your way back, you know. But, you know, we all have room. We all have room to grow. And that's why in the Bible it says, like, he without sin throw the first stone. No one can throw the stone. No human being can throw that stone. All right. All right, guys, be blessed by this message. Never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work. If you want to find out more about me and the things that I offer, look below in the description. All right. And until next time, guys, please take care.